You eat it every single morning. You toast it. You spread butter on it. You put jam on it. And you think it is a healthy breakfast. Light, easy to digest. What could possibly be wrong with a simple slice of bread? But what if I told you that the most common breakfast bread in America is sitting in your kitchen right now? The one you feed your grandkids. The one you have eaten your whole life. It may be silently destroying your gallbladder day after day, meal after meal. And it may be skyrocketing your risk of gallbladder cancer by 700%. 7 times higher. 7 times the danger. That is not 10%. That is not 20%. That is 700%, 7 times the risk of one of the most aggressive, most deadly cancers on the planet. Gallbladder cancer is one of the worst cancers you can get. It is aggressive, it grows fast, it spreads early, and by the time you have symptoms, pain, and warning signs, or a diagnosis, it is usually advanced. It has already spread to the liver, lymph nodes nearby, or other organs. The 5-year survival rate for advanced gallbladder cancer is only about 5%. That means 19 out of 20 people who get advanced gallbladder cancer will die from it. It is almost always silent until it is too late. Most people never think about their gallbladder. They do not know where it is. They do not know what it does. They do not know why it matters. Until a gallstone attack sends them to the ER in excruciating pain, needing emergency surgery. Yes, you can live without a gallbladder, but you cannot live long with gallbladder cancer. I am Dr. Michael Reynolds, a board-certified general surgeon with over 27 years of experience, and I have performed thousands of gallbladder surgeries. I have removed hundreds of gallbladders with gallstones, inflammation, and infection, and I have seen what happens when gallbladder problems turn into gallbladder cancer. I have seen patients in their 60s and 70s come in for what they thought was gallstone pain, indigestion, or a stomach ache, and they leave with gallbladder cancer and a prognosis of only a few months. Many of these cases are preventable. They are tied to foods eaten every day, foods people never knew were dangerous, like that slice of bread every morning. Before I name the bread and why it raises cancer risk 7 times higher, you need to understand your gallbladder. It is a small pear-shaped organ tucked under your liver, on the right side of your abdomen. Its job is to store bile, the greenish-yellow fluid your liver makes, to help digest fat. When you eat, especially fatty food, the gallbladder squeezes bile through a small tube, called the bile duct, into the intestines, where it breaks down fat. But when bile gets too concentrated, with too much cholesterol, or too much bilirubin, chemicals in the bile crystallize and form hard stones called gallstones over time. Gallstones can be as small as a grain of sand, or they can be as big as a golf ball. Many people have them with no symptoms. But a stone can get stuck in the opening of the gallbladder or in the bile duct. That can cause a gallbladder attack, with excruciating upper right abdominal pain lasting for hours. If the duct blocks completely, you can get infection, inflammation, pancreatitis, and even death if it is not treated quickly. But gallstones are not the worst thing. The worst thing is chronic inflammation. Gallstones can irritate the gallbladder lining day after day, year after year. That chronic irritation makes cells divide and repair over and over again. Every time cells divide, DNA can get damaged. A cell can mutate, grow out of control, and become cancer. Almost all gallbladder cancers happen in people who have gallstones. About 80% of people who get gallbladder cancer have had gallstones for years, sometimes for decades. Gallstones are the #1 risk factor for gallbladder cancer. The longer you have them, the bigger they are, and the more inflammation you have, the higher your cancer risk. What causes gallstones? Being overweight, being female, having children, being over 40, family history, and diet. What you eat every day directly affects cholesterol levels, bile composition, weight, insulin, and whether gallstones form. That is where bread comes in. The wrong bread can disturb cholesterol, bile, insulin, and inflammation. That raises gallstone risk and eventually gallbladder cancer risk. The bread I am talking about, the one linked to 7 times higher gallbladder cancer risk, is white bread. Plain white sliced bread, in a plastic bag, soft and fluffy, and able to stay fresh for weeks. The bread people use for toast, sandwiches, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. White bread is made from refined white flour. Refined flour is wheat stripped of bran, germ, fiber, vitamins, minerals, and good nutrients. What remains is mostly starchy endosperm, basically pure carbohydrate. Your body breaks it down into sugar very quickly, so blood sugar spikes almost immediately. Then the pancreas pumps out insulin. Insulin does not only control blood sugar, it also affects how the liver makes cholesterol in your body. High insulin, again and again, makes the liver produce more cholesterol. Much of that cholesterol ends up in bile, because bile is made in the liver, and cholesterol is a major bile component. High cholesterol in bile means more crystallization. More crystallization means gallstones. Gallstones mean chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation means higher cancer risk. White bread also contains added sugar. Many commercial white breads have 1 or 2 grams per slice. 2 slices for breakfast, 2 for lunch, and 2 for dinner can mean 6 slices. That can mean 12 grams of sugar, just from bread, on top of everything else. Sugar causes weight gain, insulin resistance, and high cholesterol. All of these increase gallstone risk. White bread also has a high glycemic index. That means it raises blood sugar quickly. A high glycemic diet has been linked to higher risk of gallstones and gallbladder cancer. A massive Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health study followed over 70,000 women for more than 20 years. It found that women who ate the most high glycemic foods, including white bread, had a 700% higher risk of gallbladder cancer. That is compared with women who ate the least, 7 times higher. That is from a 20-year Harvard study of over 70,000 people, published in a peer-reviewed medical journal. White bread also contains additives and preservatives, such as calcium propionate, added to prevent mold. It may contain potassium bromate, added to help bread rise higher and fluffier, plus dough conditioners, emulsifiers, artificial flavors, and artificial colors. These chemicals make bread last longer, look better, taste better, and cost less. But some are linked with digestive inflammation, and some have shown carcinogenic effects in animal studies. The FDA says they are safe in small amounts, but small amounts every day for 20, 30, or 40 years are another matter. Chronic inflammation from any cause raises cancer risk. Commercial white bread may also contain trans fats, or partially hydrogenated oils. Trans fats raise bad cholesterol, lower good cholesterol, increase heart attack and stroke risk, and increase cholesterol content in bile. That raises gallstone risk. Trans fats also drive inflammation throughout the body, including in the gallbladder. You do not have to be overweight to get gallstones from eating white bread. You can be thin, you can exercise, you can eat vegetables and fruit, and you can still raise risk if you eat white bread every day, multiple times a day. It is not only about weight, it is about insulin, cholesterol, bile composition, and inflammation. Seniors are most at risk. As you age, the gallbladder squeezes less efficiently, bile gets more concentrated, stones form more easily, immune surveillance weakens, and DNA repair becomes less reliable. The same white bread habit that seemed harmless at 30 can be dangerous at 60, 70, or 80. You cannot feel it happening. You can have gallstones for years, chronic gallbladder inflammation, or precancerous changes with no symptoms. You keep eating bread, thinking it is fine. While stones get bigger, inflammation worsens quietly, and cells mutate. Then one day, pain, jaundice, or weight loss appears, and it is already cancer. Whole wheat bread is better than white bread, but not all whole wheat bread is truly whole wheat. Many breads labeled whole wheat are mostly white flour, with a little whole wheat flour and caramel color to make them look brown. That is white bread in disguise. Read labels carefully. The first ingredient should be 100% whole wheat or 100% whole grain. There should be no high fructose corn syrup, no added sugar, no hydrogenated oils, and no strange additives. Even whole wheat bread should be eaten in moderation, because it still contains carbohydrates, it still raises blood sugar, and it still triggers insulin, just less than white bread. Now I want to tell you about a patient of mine. I will call him Edward. He was 68 years old, retired, thin, and exercised every day. He walked 3 miles every morning and thought he ate a healthy diet. He had white toast with butter and jam every morning at breakfast. He had a sandwich on white bread every day for lunch. He had a roll or 2 slices of bread with dinner every night. He had eaten that way for probably 50 years. He came to see me because he had upper right abdominal pain after eating, especially fatty meals. He also had nausea and bloating, and had lost about 10 pounds without even trying. He thought it was indigestion, an ulcer, or a stomach bug. We did an ultrasound and found multiple gallstones, some quite large. We also found a mass on the wall of his gallbladder. We did more tests, a CT scan, and a biopsy. It was gallbladder cancer, stage 3 already. It had already spread to nearby lymph nodes. Edward was shocked. He said, "Doctor, how is this possible? I am healthy. I exercise regularly. I do not drink. I do not smoke. I eat healthy." We went through his diet and found white bread, 3 meals a day, every day, for 50 years. Refined flour, sugar, blood sugar spikes, insulin spikes, extra cholesterol in bile, years of gallstones and inflammation he never knew about, eventually turned into cancer. We did surgery. We removed his gallbladder, part of his liver, and nearby lymph nodes. We did chemotherapy, but it was too late. Edward lived another 11 months after his diagnosis. Those months were hard. He lost more weight. He got weaker. He could not eat foods he loved, and he could not do things he loved. He kept saying, "If only I had known. If only someone had told me that white bread could do this. If only I had switched to whole wheat. If only I had eaten less bread." Edward is not the only patient like this. I have had dozens. Good people who thought they were healthy. They ate what they thought was normal. And they had no idea the bread they ate daily was damaging their gallbladder and increasing cancer risk. You may think, I eat white bread all the time and feel fine, but gallbladder cancer is silent for years. You can have gallstones for decades, chronic inflammation, and precancerous changes with no symptoms. By the time pain, jaundice, or weight loss appears, it is often too late. So what should you do starting today? First, go to your kitchen and take out your bread. Read the label. If the first ingredient says enriched wheat flour, bleached flour, or wheat flour, that is white flour. Put it back or throw it away. If there is more than 1 gram of sugar per slice, that is too much. If you see preservatives like calcium propionate, dough conditioners, hydrogenated oils, or words you cannot pronounce, put it back or throw it away. That is not real bread. It is a processed food product that looks like bread. Second, choose the right bread. Buy 100% whole grain or 100% whole wheat bread. The first ingredient should be 100% whole wheat flour or 100% whole grain flour, not wheat flour, not enriched flour. It should have at least 3 grams of fiber per slice, no added sugar, or less than 1 gram per slice, no hydrogenated oils, no trans fats, no strange preservatives, no artificial flavors, and no artificial colors. Real bread should have as few ingredients as possible: flour, water, yeast, salt, maybe a little sugar, and that is it. Third, eat less bread in general. Even whole wheat bread should not be eaten 3 times a day, every single day. Bread is high in carbohydrates and calories already, and it can still raise blood sugar and insulin. Have 1 slice for breakfast instead of 2. Have a salad for lunch instead of a sandwich. Have vegetables and protein for dinner instead of rolls. Choose oatmeal, eggs, yogurt, fruit, vegetables, lean meat, fish, beans, and lentils more often than bread. Fourth, learn the warning signs of gallbladder trouble and gallbladder cancer. Watch for upper right abdominal pain, especially after eating, especially fatty meals. Pain may be dull or sharp. It may last minutes or hours, and it may radiate to the back or right shoulder. Watch for nausea, vomiting, bloating, and indigestion not better with antacids. Watch for unexplained weight loss of 10 pounds or more. Watch for jaundice, yellow skin, or yellow eyes. Watch for dark urine, lighter or clay-colored stools, itching all over, fatigue and weakness not better with rest, and a lump or mass in the upper right abdomen. If symptoms last more than 2 weeks, do not ignore them. Do not blame old age, and do not just take antacids. Call your doctor right away. Early-stage gallbladder cancer has a 5-year survival rate over 50%, but late-stage is only 5%. Fifth, if you have gallstones, gallbladder attacks, or a family history of gallbladder cancer, talk to your doctor about screening. Ultrasound can find gallstones and tumors early. If you have gallstones and high cancer risk, your doctor may recommend removing the gallbladder to prevent cancer. Many people do not know preventive gallbladder removal is possible in high-risk cases. It is a simple surgery. Most people go home the same day and live normal lives without a gallbladder. It can save your life. Sixth, eat more foods good for your gallbladder. Fresh fruits and vegetables, especially leafy greens, bell peppers, citrus fruits, and berries, provide vitamin C and antioxidants. Whole grains like oatmeal, brown rice, quinoa, and barley provide fiber that lowers cholesterol and keeps bile from getting too concentrated. Healthy fats like olive oil, avocados, and nuts in moderation support cholesterol balance without overworking the gallbladder. Lean protein like chicken, fish, beans, lentils, and tofu is easier to digest. High-fiber foods help weight loss, lower cholesterol, and reduce gallstone risk. Seventh, lose weight if you are overweight. Being overweight or obese is one of the biggest risk factors for gallstones and gallbladder cancer. Overweight people have higher cholesterol and bile with more cholesterol, making stones more likely. Losing even 10% of body weight can dramatically lower gallstone and gallbladder cancer risk. But do not lose weight too fast, because rapid weight loss can also cause gallstones. Lose 1 to 2 pounds a week through diet and exercise. Eighth, exercise regularly. Exercise helps maintain healthy weight, lower cholesterol, improve insulin sensitivity, and reduce inflammation. All of that is good for the gallbladder. Studies show people who exercise regularly have lower risk of gallstones and gallbladder cancer. You do not need a marathon or daily gym. Walking 30 minutes a day, most days of the week, can make a difference. Before I go, leave a comment below and tell me, do you eat white bread every day? Tell me your age, whether you have ever had gallbladder problems, and whether you have symptoms that worry you. I read the comments and try to answer as many as possible. If this video helped you, or made you think twice about that slice of toast, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss future videos about senior health, cancer prevention, digestive health, and living healthy and independent into your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. Remember, your gallbladder is small, but important to your health. You can live without it, but you cannot live long with gallbladder cancer. Gallbladder cancer is highly preventable. You can lower your risk dramatically by cutting out white bread, eating more whole grains, maintaining a healthy weight, exercising regularly, and paying attention to warning signs. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to start. If you have a friend or family member who eats white bread every day, loves toast, or loves sandwiches, share this video with them. You might save their life. Most people think white bread is just bread. No big deal. But 7 times the risk of gallbladder cancer is not something to take lightly. Take care of yourself and your gallbladder because you deserve a long, healthy, happy life, free from cancer, full of good food, good times, and the people you love.